Coming up.
What was your favourite drug of choice?
Cocaine.
I think fucking leave him alone.
Are you talking about fucking Rolf Harris?
Well,
Now, that's a term I'm not familiar. What does it mean to you?
I think toxic masculinity is a load of bullshit.
Can you go to rehab for sexism?
I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done here anyway.
We got our first storm off here. No, he's not happy about
Not
it.
having it.
Sound in there if
That's
I can,
lovely.
mate. That's it. Oh,
Welcome to the podcast.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Tony, you wanted to ask a few questions to get us going.
Yes, mate.
Well, first of all, it's an incredible honor to have you here.
Yeah?
I followed your comedy for many years. I love comedy.
Yeah?
And I don't know about you, but I love that dark, edgy humor.
Yeah.
You know, so like for you, for example, gagging for rape. How did you come up with that material? Did you sort of work it out beforehand, or was it spur of the moment?
Can you put the air conditioning on? Fucking hell.
Where did that come from then?
That was no, what happened with that is, lads, just to clear this up quickly, I'm not actually one of these comedians that writes jokes about rape. I don't find that stuff funny. But what happened was a journalist had done a piece about my TV show, and it was saying that my TV show was an almanac for rape culture.
Right, yes.
It's very clever.
Yeah, it was kind of taken out of context at the time. But look, if you didn't know me before that, you knew me after that.
So you waxed on a turtleneck, I recall.
That's right.
And had a very serious conversation on Newsnight.
Yes.
Did that help, or did that sort of backfire? What was that like then?
Probably the biggest regret, more so than the rape joke. It was bad. I wore the turtleneck and shaved my beard off to make a clear distinction between me and the character Dapper laughs, because unfortunately people out there couldn't distinguish. A bit like, you know, Ali G and Sacha Baron Cohen. People couldn't. They didn't realise it was a character, so I thought I'd distinguish it. But I just became famous for apologising in a turtleneck, and then the turtleneck became synonymous with apologies. But I made a bit of dough out of turtlenecks, so
Oh, you sold it, have you?
I did. I sold the Dapper
That's good.
turtleneck.
You sold it to the Rape Foundation?
No, I just kept the dough for that. I was out of work at the time, so
Oh, right.
didn't have any.
So you put on a turtleneck to sort of be a new character. Is that right?
No, the Dapper Laughs was the character. I wore the turtleneck to show that there was but I looked like a bit
I didn't
like,
realize Double Lash was a character. I don't really like character comedy. I think it's kind of lazy
I think, yeah, no. I
because
mean,
it lets people say what they really think, but with a mask.
That's right. They're pretending to not be the person that they are.
That's right. It can make you say things that you wouldn't normally say.
Yeah.
But because you're in some sort of
you're
character.
protected. You feel protected.
Protected.
right.
I just think it's disingenuous. But I didn't realize Double
I don't
Lash
do that
wasn't-
anymore. I don't. Well, I kind of do characters now, but I use filters so they're a bit more obvious.
Filters, that's what the kids use. Yeah, we need to
Yeah.
do some reels. is
I'll tell you
I've
what
heard.
I hate, Tony, is when grammar school middle class boys pretend to be working class.
It's a fucking disgrace.
That is-
It makes a mockery of everything I grew up with. You know, I was eating dirt out of a fucking trash can growing up.
But why did you go for dirt? Was there not food in the trash can? Anyway, sorry, I didn't.
I think he's being metaphorical.
That's
Oh,
right. I was
okay.
sort of painting a picture of,
Right. Okay.
you know, well, you probably ate fucking ham and cheese in Surrey. Probably different,
Yeah.
better quality of fucking food.
Yeah. Whatever the maid prepared. So.
Let's get back to the aftermath. You've done the turtleneck interview with the Newsnight. You're cancelled. You're one of the first
Yeah.
people in comedy to be cancelled.
Yeah.
Since Barrymore.
The Barrymore.
Pre-Cosby.
The thing with Barrymore, the reason we bring him up is Barrymore, much like yourself, he lost a lot, but he was at the height of his fame. You know,
Right,
do you have
okay.
any other similarities with Michael Barrymore, perhaps?
I don't even like pool parties.
So you,
It's a tragedy.
so Barrymore happened, then you happened, and this was pre-Cosby. So you were the sort of middle ground between Barrymore and Cosby. Tell us about those early days of being cancelled. What was your home life like? What was the aftermath? So you've taken the turtleneck off, you've come home. What happens next?
My dad died.
Oh, fucking hell, keep it light.
Yeah. So.
Sorry for your loss.
You know.
Yeah, my father passed away around the same sort of time, so that
This
was.
could be a good opportunity for tears. I don't know why he's laughing.
If you want to cry now, that'd probably be quite good.
No,
Patreon.
So that's bad timing. So you're going through a lot.
You can put the sad music on the top. Just wait a sec. We'll start again, but we'll get the sad music ready for the edit. All right, here we go.
Yeah, my father passed away around the same sort of time. I actually lost all my money, the work. I couldn't work, and I was on my arse, mate. Yeah, I ended up actually up in Manchester, living in the spare room of my in-laws' house. I lost my house and everything.
Jesus.
Yeah. Manchester with the in-laws. Yeah, it was hard.
She's like Manchester, may be the saddest part of the story.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
That's bleak.
Yeah, and
From Kingston to Manchester, it's quite a downfall. I'm so sorry.
I was abusing the alcohol and the drugs quite a lot back then.
That's when you sort of really hit a downward turn. You're on the gear. What was your favorite drug of choice?
Cocaine. It was, yeah.
How long you been sober now then?
9 months this time round. 9 months. Yeah, 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
So last night when us three were out
Fuck off.
and we were on the beat,
That was not me.
does that not count? Is it like anything less than 2 grams don't count?
No, that wasn't me, guys. That actually wasn't me. I wouldn't be here if it was. I'd still be on it. Don't listen to that.
Strange.
So I think he's been vindicated. He can come out and party. He did a
No, that wasn't me.
couple of lines.
I need to clarify that wasn't me.
Okay, it wasn't for the purposes of the kids watching. It wasn't. We were being lighthearted. Of course, we didn't have a big bender down at the crowd.
He just don't want to go back to Manchester, does he?
Yeah, I don't blame
It's
him.
about.
No, mate.
Do you feel clear-headed?
Yes, mate. I was always thought I suffered bad with anxiety and depression and all that, like a lot of the lads or people do. But once I took the stopped drinking and using drugs, I realised it was just a come down.
Right.
So I'm fucking feeling good.
Just a constant fucking
I was
calm down.
I was either off me nut or coming down.
Gee,
For about
thinking
the
about
last
it.
10 years, or thinking about it, yeah, or wanking to weird stuff.
we'll get into that. But back to you're using a lot of drugs back in the when all this was going down, and I don't know how you feel about comedians, public entertainers getting canceled for something they did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Or in your case, a couple of days ago when you were at the crowd show saying those things. How do you feel about it?
About what? Bit cancel culture.
Being canceled.
Historical. When they go
Historical
back to the
cancellation.
80s, 90s and do a geezer for shit he done back in the day. It's like, when I see some poor old geezer getting wheeled out, his real name used in court, some tired old man who was a big star in the 80s and 90s coming out, fucking knackered, his sad old wife, his kids there, I think, fucking leave him alone.
Are you talking about fucking Rolf Harris?
Well, I mean, come on. What's he going to do now? He ain't going to fucking nonce anyone now. He's dead now. But, I mean,
Why the fuck? I got cancelled for a joke. Everyone else you're talking about had done bad things.
I think cancel culture's gone too far. I think you should not be canceled for things you did in the past. Like, for example, myself, I was in a fucking court of law a number of years ago, and I was cleared of all charges. Those witnesses were silenced. Not silent. They chose not to testify.
well, they didn't, because they knew you were innocent. They saw sense.
Right. So I refuse to be canceled for mistakes from my fucking past. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think
Something
it's
you
like,
said.
if you go back, if you're cancelling a geezer for shit he done, it's like going back to the 80s and fucking taking someone's yellow card and turning it into a red and then saying you didn't win that game.
Yeah.
Different rules at the time. I saw Vinnie Jones fucking clatter Steve McMahon in the 88 final.
Yeah.
That would be a red and a 9-month ban now.
Yeah.
But he got a yellow. What, we're going to go back and fucking give him a red, cancel the FA Cup?
Yeah, plus things are changing, jokes, things that, look at all the new genders there are now and stuff like that. You might do a joke about something back then, someone's penis back then, and then they haven't got them now. So the actual landscape of life is changing.
That's right. A lot of broads with cocks now.
Yeah.
So you're a retired geezer now, would you say?
Retired?
Yeah, you sort of left your geezer ways behind.
Oh,
or-
yeah, the lad culture and all of that stuff. Yeah, I'm a father now of 2 beautiful daughters, so there's some jokes, some things I said in the past I don't really find quite funny anymore.
Right.
I kind of grew up a little bit
Right.
along the way. I learnt. But yeah,
Heartwarming.
yeah.
Anyway, what do you do to stop yourself relapsing? What do you do? You have like a clamp on your car horn to stop you fucking tooting a bird on the way past? Or?
No, I don't, my problem was never tooting the birds. It was more tooting the packet,
Right.
sniffing the gear and that. And,
Right.
but yeah, it's all about.
So you were a cat caller.
No, never.
Because I think catcalling is
An issue?
I think it's a natural part of communication, but I just think it needs an upgrade. What about if there's some positive catcalls you could shout at abroad? Like, I'd like to introduce you to my ma.
Yeah.
You got a fucking massive brain.
Yeah. Could work.
Morning.
Yeah.
It's nice, yeah.
That's all right. What's wrong with that? Morning.
How you doing?
Yeah.
So, what do you do to stop yourself getting back on the marching powder then? What's and the drink? Do you have a drink in the house or do you? What are the rules? How do you stop yourself?
My wife still drinks. Yeah, she's all right. But no, it's about working on my I do the meetings, so I go and talk, and also working on my willpower. So I box every morning. I box 5 days a week.
What weight?
It's just like amateur. I'm not actually fighting. It's just down a boxing gym.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So do that and
Excuse me, I was just doing fucking ice.
Yeah, that's okay. And yeah, various things to just keep my edge straight, basically, in my mentality. Right, I do a podcast as well myself called Menace to Sobriety for anyone out there that's struggling.
It's very similar to this, actually.
Yeah.
We're up on a similar ground.
Yeah.
But we like to speak to, you mostly speak to people struggling with
Addiction, or that have overcome addiction.
Right.
we like to speak to a lot of
People that are providing people with addiction.
that's right, yeah. Well, murderers, but people who they've turned it around.
That's right. I think it's also about, we like to have people on here, Tone, that have guilt. They feel guilty about what they've done. They're not proud of it. Like, I ain't proud of a lot of stuff I've done.
Yeah.
And I've got an eye for the ladies. A lot of fucking extracurriculars, as you know.
Oh, right.
And it's hard. I feel guilty.
Was you a sex addict, would you think?
I don't think so. I don't like that expression.
You don't like
I
addict?
think it's a bit fucking wet. Like, it was...
But a shagger? Was you a shagger?
You like the fucking birds. That's it.
Yeah, all right.
Sex addict, that sort of makes it into some sort of disease.
Yeah.
I like the birds. I still like the birds. Elaine knows what goes on. She doesn't give me shit anymore. She likes the lifestyle. She ain't fucking going anywhere now.
Listen, if everyone's for it, go for it, man. I miss them days.
He's got an arrangement.
Oh.
Same, I'm polyamorous at the moment. The women in my life, they're not all aware.
Right.
But I identify as a polyamorous man.
I think this is new age. Does Elaine, does she move about with other men?
I don't know. She fucking better not. But
That would be a step too far.
It's one way then.
That's not happening.
Okay.
So people at one stage would identify you and your comedy with toxic masculinity. What does it mean to you?
I think toxic masculinity is a load of bullshit that feminists made up or people made up to label stuff in men that they didn't particularly like. I just think there's toxic people, There's either toxic men, toxic females. There's a lot of feminists that are toxic, so it's just toxic people.
Toxicity is the issue, not the gender.
Toxic. Yeah, not the gender, man. You need masculinity in this.
Because, for example, would an example of toxic male behavior be like Jimmy? He used to get his cock on put in scotch. Friend of ours.
Right.
Is that an example?
I don't know. Did you laugh?
He didn't do it to me, believe me.
Okay.
But I found it quite amusing at the time.
Yeah, that's toxic. But a girl could do that with her flaps.
No, that's right. Now, there's a lot of stigmata about a geezer that don't drink.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that? Do you feel like emasculated by the other geezers at the boxing centre?
No, I mean, boxing's all about lads trying to help each other be the best version of themselves, and when we're sparring and that, there's no emasculation, mate. Everyone's having a tear up regardless of whether they drink or not. But yeah, I get some stick online for talking about it, but in all honesty, I think drink and drugs, and a lot of people don't think they got a problem because they just get on it at the weekend, but it's ripped families apart, and I think I've got a massive audience of lads, so it's an important message.
Right.
And on that, I know you got a massive audience of the guys, but at the height of your issues, I'm pretty sure you would have had some female fans throughout. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, I've got a lot of female fans. I'm sure there's big numbers on my social. So
what I mean is, like, at the height of these.
Did I shag any of them?
Hey, I mean, there's maybe one for the Patreon. Were you single at the time?
Early on in my career, yeah. I mean,
2015, though.
Yeah,
Post cancellation, you're grieving, you're lonely. Your fucking in-laws in Manchester. There must have been a few birds in there.
No, I was with my missus back then. Around that time, I was with my wife.
Right.
I was more into going out with my pals and getting on the gear rather than I wasn't.
So let me get this straight. You'd fucking go out with your pals, toot some lights, and go fucking bird watching?
No,
I mean, literally bird watching.
No, I've never. Back in the day, maybe there might have been a couple. You know what I mean?
Okay,
it comes
good.
with the territory. But I mean, not saying I want to discuss. Now I'm married.
So last night, when you were doing that line off that Romanian stripper's bum cheek, and you broke down in tears, was that the most recent relapse you've had, or what was the last time you were triggered to drink or get?
I want to clarify that didn't happen. Just for people out there, I don't. These lads must have been out of someone that said they was me to hang around with you. But yeah.
Well, I thought he was
A little
quite,
bit touchy about
he's
that.
quite honest on his podcast, and he don't seem to be so keen on that today.
That's fine.
He's protecting the brand in case Betfair drop him or some bollocks.
Yeah.
I can't. That's another addiction issue there with betting. So
Do you gamble?
not anymore.
Right, but you do the gambling ads.
No, not anymore. Because you see, I'm kind of like I wouldn't say like I'm a spokesperson for sobriety, but I talk about sobriety, so it'd be a bit contradictive.
Okay, I hear that. I mean, I do Bet365, but I'll give a lot of the money back to the Ray Winston Foundation, which does a lot of help on people who want to get into gambling to learn how to do it properly, so that's nice.
There's a lot of kids. It's actually similar to what you do. He does talks to a lot of kids in schools explaining the ins and outs of spread betting.
What?
That's just responsible gambling.
Yeah, not getting in over your head.
If you're like knowing when to stop. So if your wife's left you, you're in a bed sitting in an empty bath,
It's
wanking yourself to oblivion, chasing your losses, it's probably time to think.
To get a payday loan, maybe, and then
no. Just yeah.
okay.
When were you last triggered to call a bird a slag? Because last night we both noticed, didn't we, Tone, that you stopped yourself just at the point. He was about to call that waitress, and he stopped and he said, "You tart." He reined it in. Was that part of your?
That shows a bit of growth, I
I
think.
think
Because
you're muddling up my addiction. I wasn't like I wasn't a misogynist addict. I was it was coke and drink. I don't have to stop myself calling women. I never. But if you want me to be honest, probably a couple of weeks back with the missus when she was kicking off about something, but never in public to public people.
Right, just private.
Yeah.
Just domestic abuse. Do we get punished for being working class?
I think that we get misunderstood. Definitely. I think. Yeah. I think we're not considered intelligent enough to be ironic.
Right, I think we ain't got layers.
Yeah,
I got fucking layers, believe me. I got fucking layers.
I can tell.
No, I was in tears the other day with my brass and Romaria, lovely girl, and she looks after me. She's getting on a bit now. She's 28, but she looks after me. She gives me the temp free. I have a little cards with the stamps on it, like Costa. I always leave them at home, so I've got a whole bunch of them at home. But I always get quite emotional after I've been with her. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the guilt or I don't know. I feel like quite.
Probably it could be the gonorrhea.
But I feel emotional. I feel like maybe because I don't know her, that means I can be more vulnerable. Do you ever feel that you can be more vulnerable with people you don't know than the people who do know you? Because you've got to sort of keep up the front.
Definitely, 100%. That's why my podcast is all about, people opening up on there. And why people go counselling, because you don't want to talk to your missus or your wife or your family about them hard things. Yeah, definitely. But I'm not sure if a brass is. Do you talk to her about your problems while you're because, or is it just the sex that makes you emotional? Because that could be part of your sex addiction.
Oh well, afterwards I do feel after I've spaffed, I do feel I feel vulnerable.
It's because you're naked, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's not a pretty sight. Last time you punched someone whilst not wearing boxing gloves?
In a bar in Weybridge called the Hand and Spear about 2 years ago.
That sounds exciting. So can you tell us more what prompted the act of violence?
I'd left the house and gone out, and I was on the smash, and I was on my own, and I was off me nut, and some lads were taking the piss out of me for, I don't know, the Dapper last and all that, and one of them come over and said, "Oh, you like doing a bit of boxing, didn't you? Do you think you're hard and all that?" And one of his mates said, "Can you recommend a gym for me son?" And I said, "Yeah, Jimmy Savile." And he threw a punch at me, hit me. And,
It's a pretty good game.
That's fucking. That's got to go in the tour. That.
yeah, and so I threw one back and hit him.
Ooh,
And can you describe the scene? Was there blood? Did he go on the floor?
I went on the floor when he hit me.
Hang on, he hit you.
He hit me first, and I went on the floor.
and he bounced up.
No, and then I got carried out. And then when I woke up outside, he wanted to have another go, or he was still arguing, and I managed to get one in
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no.
before I ran off. So because there was a few of them, and I
So
was
you
like,
hit
"Yeah."
him and ran away.
I hit him, and then I looked at him and thought he don't want no more. And then I made an exit that was faster than it wasn't running, but it wasn't walking. It was like just like I had purpose.
So you were outnumbered as well.
Yeah, there was loads of people.
Right, right.
Fair enough. That's a nice story.
Yeah.
It's what we like to talk about. You know, you do something horrifically violent, but now you're no longer a violent man. It's strictly in the boxing ring.
That's it. Yeah, I only batter geezers in the ring.
Are there any places you're not looking forward to touring? Maybe
Blackpool.
Oh yeah. What are you doing in the Opera House?
I think it's the Grand.
Oh, nice.
You know, yeah.
What about Blackpool? I never been.
Few X's around that area from my heyday.
yeah. Oh,
my
yeah.
heyday.
Lovely.
I think they might have a couple of kids down that way. So
Oh yeah, you want to be careful. In and out. Keep the car running.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bad day in Blackpool every fucking day.
So is there any other drugs you might consider in the future so you could then quit to start another podcast about?
Legal highs, Amazon Prime, something else.
Spice is what they like.
Right.
It's like spice. Is there any other substances, maybe fentanyl, that's big in the States?
Right.
I would recommend that. It's very addictive.
Because you could make a lot of money from getting on it, getting off it, telling the stories about why you're off it and all the bad shit you've done when you were on it, and then get back on something else, etc. etc.
That's what we're trying to do
you
here.
You could buy a second home, mate.
Yeah. No, I was thinking maybe wait for the wife to die and maybe do like a widower, like being a widow,
Oh, that's nice.
something like that.
I like that. It's a
That's nice.
nice vision for the future.
Working towards that one.
You talk, about your demons. You have mentioned a lot of demons. Particularly last night, you were talking about your demons while you were doing that line off that Romanian who was ass.
Oh man.
What was your lowest point during addiction?
Oh man. I don't know. I've had a few rock bottoms, but driving my car through central London, I think after it had been egged and flowered by a load of kids, and I was high,
Jesus.
I was off me nuts. I felt like I was like driving a car covered in cocaine, and while on cocaine that was quite a low.
I mean, that's quite an image.
Yeah.
So they put eggs.
They egged
And flour.
They egged the whole car, and then covered flour over it, and then I come out of a hotel. I'd done an all-nighter, and I thought I was in psychosis and seen like a massive pile of cocaine, but then I realised it was my car, and then I drove it home.
You thought your car was going to turn into a cake. So you're in the car driving along. Why the fuck were they throwing flour and eggs at you?
I was Snapchatting myself in my car, revving it up and that, and then they must have seen where it was, so they just come to play a prank on me, I guess, and egged and floured it. Not knowing that obviously I was going to be on the bugle all night.
You still get all that? You still get a lot of the people throwing shit? The people leave you alone in the street now?
Yeah, I think I'm not as prolific as I maybe was back then.
We're having fun here. We're doing a bit of banter. That's
Right.
Banter.
Banter.
Now, what is the difference between banter and bullying?
So banter. right?
Banter's between friends. Bullying is if I don't know.
So like, what's an example
I
of?
think he's explained that quite profoundly, actually. So, did you get all that?
So banter, right? So if I'm playing five-a-side with the boys, right?
Yeah.
Down in Mile End, and you've got banter flying about, Dave, you fat cunt, arse it, or I'll bang your sister again. Is that banter or bullying?
That's a bit because there's quite some sexual violence in there, which I don't condone. That's quite heavy.
Right.
The fucking the sister bit's a bit personal. Banter, I think, is something that's funny between friends, and should only if you know that it's going to upset somebody, that's when it turns to bullying. There you go.
Right, so when he's about to take a penalty, if I'm like, I bet you miss it like you missed Deborah since she died. Is that...
That's
That's not banter.
I'll be honest with you, that's funny, but again, it's not banter.
But if they're laughing, then it's funny.
The person that you're saying it to, I doubt's going to laugh at that, so that's bullying.
But he laughs, but with sort of sad eyes.
He's crying. That's probably crying.
Oh, so that's not banter.
No.
So banter is between friends.
Between friends, something that you know people are going to laugh at.
So, that WhatsApp group we're in, we sent the animal pornography the other day. I mean, that was very amusing. And that's between friends. And obviously that's not sexual violence because it's based, I believe it was a koi fish. Now, is that banter or... Because nobody's getting harmed. That footage, it seemed like it was from the 90s. It's a long time ago.
And fish forget, don't they?
Yeah, they got a memory of a goldfish, you know the phrase. So I'm just trying to understand, because if you're talking about broads, somehow the banter is elevated and it becomes, problematic.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Banter and bullying, we're on... It's a tricky conversation.
What I notice is the birds want equality, but if you do the banter you do with the boys with the birds, they get upset.
That's right.
But they don't want equality, do they? They want equality light.
They yeah. Lads, I'm not going to respond to that. I don't know.
Right.
I think it's up to the receiver of the banter to decide.
You're a free speech guy, right?
Yeah.
You appeared on GB News.
Yep.
Are you going back on there anytime soon?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Because I haven't watched it much, but I'm familiar with Leo Coos.
Yeah, I like Leo.
He's a Nazi, of course. We wouldn't platform a Nazi on our podcast. And, everything he stands for is hate speech, of course.
But what I like about Leo is he'll just say any old bollocks to get a reaction, which I think's what it's about. He understands self-publicity.
That's right.
He doesn't really stand for anything. He just sort of inhabits an opinion, gets the likes and views, and then he fucking does his tour. And I think that's what I like about you, Daniel, is that you do have a bit of a spirit about you. You've been on a journey.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you've been sober for 12 hours now, and you can see how that's... You sort of, it's opening you up. You sort of, you seem quite grateful for what you got there. You're grateful not to be staying at your in-laws in Manchester again. You got your girls, you got your missus.
Yeah.
You're in a good place.
Yeah, I mean, all joking aside, honestly, I feel like I've been given a second chance at life. I think it's important for lads to be able to look back and see the shit they've done wrong. I said a lot of stupid stuff when I was coming up in comedy. I've done a lot of stupid stuff in my life. And, it just feels good to sort of hold your hands up to it. And it's a lot of work sorting your life out and actually doing it. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, are you worried about any sort of backlash on a new tour? Any more flour and eggs coming at you?
No, not really.
You think that's done now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that I'm going to say some controversial stuff, but I mean, I don't feel like I can't cancel me really.
Twice. Has a geezer ever been cancelled twice?
I think people have had enough of cancelling, haven't they? I don't know.
I mean, but when it happened to you, cancelling wasn't even in the fucking conversation.
I kind of created, especially in the comedy world.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Trailblazer.
And I think all the clips of yours look worse because they were filmed on those fucking old cameras. It all looked a bit grainy and a bit fucking...
Yeah,
looked like a video from fucking ISIS.
Right, yeah, all shaky, low-res fucking rape joke. It's not going to look as good as a high-res rape joke.
Jimmy Carr's rape jokes, they're filmed very high quality. It's on a respectable broadcaster like Netflix.
That's right.
So it gives you that legitimacy.
That's
that
right.
It doesn't have on an ISIS-inspired grainy...
That's right. On an early iPhone.
That's why Jimmy Carr, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
What he does with his misogyny is so inspired. It's on such a big platform that, it can't be denied.
Dapper, do you have any PTSD?
Maybe from that whole thing.
Do you get little flashbacks to things you've done and you sort of,
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, it was a tough time with the press and everything like that back then. But no, I'm all right. Maybe not PTSD. I think I'm all right.
I think it's good to have a past. A lot of the fucking soft comedians coming through, they ain't got a fucking past.
They ain't got shit. I think a lot of the new comedians, they could learn a lot from, indulging in some violence. Hit a guy, glass somebody, but then learn from it.
Right.
Mature, grow up. Reflect. I did this. I'm going to make some jokes about it. It's in the past.
Monetize it, but in a nice way. Would you like to host a game show or anything like that? I think you'd be right for that now.
Not really. I mean, I used to work on the cruise ships and do a little game shows and stuff on there. It was good fun. I would be good at it, but
Very personable.
yeah, but I wouldn't. TV. I think you've got. I'm not really interested in sucking corporate penis to be on TV.
Right.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it like that, but we're very much into hearing from any broadcasters that might, want to. The ITV sketch show, comedy sketch show, it's a lot of fun. We'd love to be involved.
Oh, we could warm up for Dapper on his talk, couldn't we? We could come out and have a little chat.
Would you be up for that?
Would you be up for it?
Yeah.
Tony and Ray?
Absolutely.
Have a quick chat with the crowd, get to know them a bit.
I'd love that.
Well, I've got a game show for you, Dapper. What about pedos for prizes, right? You got 10 geezers, right? 5 are nonces, 5 ain't.
Right.
And then you got a contestant, they got to try and guess the nonce to win prizes.
Right.
Would you host that?
No.
That could be one for Schofield.
Where'd you sit on Schofield in, Dapper?
I think what he done was inappropriate. To say the least, I was gutted that it took him so long to get thrown off ITV when I was gone like that.
That's right.
Almost made me.
You made a good point, and he was actually seen sucking on one of these in one of his statements. Schofield.
Right. Never far away from a little knob.
Exactly. I mean, aesthetically, the tip does resemble the.
So you're saying you wouldn't have Philip Schofield as your co-host on Pedos for Prizes?
No, I don't think it's a project that I'd want to be part of. To be honest, it's
What's next for you, Daniel?
There you go.
yeah, man. I've got the tour, so I'm at the moment testing material for the tour. I'm hoping that a big platform picks that up for a tour show and all that. And I've got a film in the process of being made. And a couple that are waiting to come out. So acting is
3 films.
yeah. I've shot 2 that are in the can already.
Jesus, what are the films about?
They're
Tell us.
gangster comedies, actually.
A gangster comedy. Can you elaborate more about who's involved, what the story is, anything like that?
Not really. I'm not really allowed to, but they're.
You heard it here first. It's a big exclusive there. Comedy gangster film.
Dapper, thank you so much for joining us. We would like to give you a gift because you're one of the original lads. This is Ladded Magazine from the Daily Sport, year 2000, Joe Guest.
Nice.
That's for you if you like it. As a reformed geezer,
It might make him relapse.
so that's yours if you like it.
But it was drugs and alcohol that it's not like it wasn't sexism or misogyny that I had a problem with.
Can you go to rehab for sexism?
The fuck? I'm
Well, last night when he was... I think we'll leave it there.
not. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done here anyway. Thank you, lads.
He's storming off. We got our first storm off here. He's not
Is
happy.
you all right? You off there? You all right, Dapper?
Yeah, thanks.
No, he's not happy about
Not
that.
having it?
Okay. Well, we're going to go and speak to him outside. You can see the breakdown on our Patreon. He seemed very upset by that. I think that put him over the edge, which is good. Which is good for our numbers because that really set him off. And we're going to go follow. We'll get some candid camera of him after this ending.
All I will say, Joanne Guest, one of the greats of the game, still causing trouble. Even now, even 23 years after this shoot, she's still ruffling feathers. That is the testament to Joe Guest. So well done, Joe. Hope you're well. Come on the pod if you're watching.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dapper. It wasn't how we would have liked to end, but he's been a wonderful guest. Go see his tour.
That's right, January